you. You know, I'm done. This is mid. What are you trying to do? Poison me? There's no sugar, no milk, and I know you're serving me hojicha, but still, there's like no creaminess to it, like the hojicha in tomorrow. Be for real. This is mid at best. What? I'm out.
It seems that he does not know anything about tea. So hence, let us educate him.
Tea is an aromatic beverage consumed everywhere in the world. Yet, most certainly China, for it does originate from South Asia and Southeast Asia. Some teas may give a cooling sense or a sort of floral smell. You know what? This is really boring. Cue the intro, actually.
What a good intro, I'd say so myself. It's been a while since I last edited, and that is my first attempt at an actually good intro. So, this part will mainly talk about the time span between Emperor Shenrong and the writer Liu Yi. Legend says that a tea leaf fell into Emperor Shenrong's bowl of hot water, and from there a tea leaf reacted with the water, creating tea. But that's only a legend. A legend. No, I'm not mad, Pat. While this is merely a legend, this does give insight on the beliefs of people at the time, which is of the mandate of heaven, which is a bit too long for this video, but in short, it is the way that emperors in China secure the throne. It's saying that like, God bestowed it to me. Sumpah demi Kristus or something. Some guy actually did that though. Well, as the story is merely legend, it is not approved by scholars today. Yet, we do have real evidence of tea from a long time ago being drank. In 2016, archaeologists found physical evidence in the mausoleum of Emperor Jing that tea was drunk. This also ties into the tradition of gifting tea as an offering, as a form of forgiveness, or as a gift. Liu Yu was the author of the classic of tea. In that book, he wrote down the tea traditions in China at the time, which are now the basis for most tea ceremonies in China, such as Kungfu cha. And speaking of Kungfu cha, we will try to explain it in the next part of this video. Kungfu? What does that mean? Sounds a lot like Kung Fu to me. Well, because it is Kung Fu. It means the exact same thing. Kung Fu is just the Cantonese pronunciation of it, and they both mean skill and or mastery. Oh my god. The gong so loud transported me to the real world. Okay, so now let's do an explanation on Kung Fu tea. So, this is a compromised Kung Fu tea setup because I don't have any the actual setup, so this works. For the sake of demonstration, let's say that this is the guy one and this is the fairness cup, or that one cup with the Chinese name. I forgot. I'm sorry, Panadi. So, our first step is to steep the tea, which I already did because it'll take a while. After steeping the tea, you pour it into the fairness cup and let it rest. And from there, you pour it onto the cups, as so. Here's your tea. And you might be asking, why isn't this just go to the cups? Why is there a middleman? The problem is, this thing don't filter the teas right, so we have a middleman right here to filter more of the tea out to the cup, so you don't have tea leaves like this. And that's how Kungfu tea works. Chapter done. Chapter 2 onwards.
Cepulane, teh. Melebune saka Tegal ya.
Memang! Well, it is true, as stated by my dad before, tea culture came to the island of Java first through Tegal, even before the planting. So, to quote the book right here, Ekspedisi Teh Nusantara, tanaman teh datang ke Indonesia sekitar abad ke-17, tapi Tegal sudah memiliki budaya minum teh yang berakar dari Cina. So, well, came there first, before, well, even the tea was there, because through trading, people from Tegal got the tea faster, even though the people that got the tea was the elites, because it was expensive, you know.
So now, when it reached Tegal, you may be asking yourself, how did they drink it? Well, now then, demonstration time. So here, as you can see, this is the Kungfu tea setup from before. But, one slight difference. Fairness cup is gone and it's now straight from the source. As I said before, they did really skip the middleman. But, when they drank the tea, it's like bitter. Too spicy, I'd say. So how did they do it? They fixed it with sugar, which this would be called a sin in Kungfu tea culture because the tea is already good, why would you drink it? But in that place, the tea is bad, so what can I do? And we're back to good old colonialism. God help me. So, Dutch guy came in, brought some tea, said, they look good as decoration. But in the 19th century, Jacobus Isidorus Ludwig Levan Jacobson went to China to learn about tea and then came back with 7 million seeds and 15 laborers from Macau. He chose modern-day Purwokerto and Banyuwangi for the sake of planting the tea. In 1835, tea has been planted all over the island of Java, hence making Amsterdam really rich. Well, now this is gonna be the part of the video that I'm gonna critique capitalism again. So, never thought in a million years my persona would be Karl Marx, but here we are, so. Matcha Dubai chocolate labubus. Those are words that are coming out of my mouth are very much post-capitalist, something that communists would not like and or socialists will also not like. And in this video we will emphasize on matcha itself and how capitalism has made it into something of a commodity instead of something good for culture. There has been a matcha shortage in Kyoto, well, actually, all of Japan, where people have been overbuying matcha, and again, everyone from all over the world going to Japan, buying matcha, and then just overbuying everything. This is because of quote-unquote clean girl aesthetics, where people say, matcha is so cool, so flavorful, and something like that, and also performative males, that too exists. This is all because, again, capitalism. Matcha grading is a lie made by the white man to downplay the Japanese, which it actually is. It is made by a Canadian who made it to sell more tea. And ceremonial grade, culinary grade and drinking grade doesn't exist. It is merely made for capitalists. It is not done in Japan. In Japan, they grade it through, who drinks it, the status of it, why people buy it. Tukan, that's more accurate. And this, it's all just random. Ceremonial grade, it's yellow, it tastes more bitter. It's the same thing, be for real. I do not like to see tea go this route on its future. It feels like it lost meaning on how tea develops and how it can go to the future. Yet, going it through overconsumption like this would merely just erase its history and its culture. Okay, next time, conclusion.
Conclusion. Number 1. Emperor Shenong found tea through a legend, which says that Emperor Shenong saw a leaf falling into his cup, and then boom, tea. And that is where the legend of tea started. But that again is merely a legend. So, hence, we use our main source, which is archaeological findings, and Liu Yu, which wrote down every part of tea history during his time.
Number 2. Chinese people from the coastal areas of China has traded into Tegal to propagate tea and tea culture. And from there, the Kungfu tea culture has been morphed and formed into modern day Thai Poci. Well, at the start, it was drunk by elites and has been passed down to the proletariat to this day. Number 3. Now, colonization, which, due to culture settle, has propagated tea culture all across Indonesia, especially Java, which, as an example, is Bandung tea culture, where people are given tea, no sugar, nothing else, and people yet still enjoy it because of high quality teas on their area, where the origins are because of culture settle and the Dutch planting tea on that area. Number 4. Due to capitalism, people have been appreciating tea culture all across the world. But there's one problem. This has been ruining tea culture, especially in Japan, where people have been overbuying matcha and hence ruining it for everyone else. And because of those overbuying, people have been planting it all over the world. And it has been lesser in quality, and the tea market has worse and worse since then. And now, to settle everything down, I say to you, tea is still good, even though it has changed all across the time. While the tea culture has changed rapidly, it is still tea. Doesn't mean that another tea culture is superior than the other. It still means that people all across the world has to enjoy tea one way or another in their own way.
And thank you for watching. This has been Kaya Nararya Aditya, and I will be signing out.